You're so busy trying to be perfect, which you can't measure up to, that you actually end up robbing yourself of the opportunity to be something great. You're striving for perfection and missing greatness. Because you can be great. You can achieve greatness. You can't achieve perfection. What's up, everyone? If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means that you are tuned into actually with Jordan Alexa. Oh my gosh, I haven't said that in like a year. All right, let me get back to it. Here, we challenge conformity and ignite insight by encouraging you to think for your own self. And we do that by talking about the human experience, everyday life, the mental thought process, etc., etc. And you can think of me as your friend that's going to tell you how it is, what it is, and if it is. So I won't even jump straight into it because we have to address the elephant in the room. Where have you been? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you want to sue, my lawyer is God, so good luck. Not guilty. No, I am guilty. I was gone for an entire year. But it's honestly because my life was just not like bad, but it was just so much going on. I had a lot going on. Last year was one of the most, successful years I had in my business. My husband made a movie and started off with, I need you to come help with snacks. Then it was, I need you to come record this day. Next thing I knew, I was in the movie. So there was that. And yeah, last year was just a bit of a whirlwind. And unfortunately, in the whirlwind, the podcast blew away. Yeah. So anyways, it is officially January 2025. And honestly, there's a lot of things that I just started doing today. I decided to take that first week. First of all, the new year started in the middle of the week. Smack dab. Wednesday, hump day. Started in the middle of the week and I'm sorry. I couldn't do it. So I started a lot of stuff today. I feel like I kind of started it. I chose to start it this week. Like I chose to start doing everything this week because I don't know, y'all. It's just so much pressure that be coming with the new year. Like, everybody puts so much emphasis on new year, new me, doing this, doing that. And I get it. Because, the new year, it's a brand new year. It's a brand new start. And it's easy. Like, it's an easy place to like say, oh, I started here, It's like Monday. It's like every time I say I'm going to the gym, I say, I'll go out Monday. Do I ever make it? Mind your business. But yeah, it's like, it's too much. It's too much. And I feel like I postponed everything for, a week because I don't know. I feel like I needed to take my power back. I feel like I can't let the expectations of what comes with what you're supposed to do at the new year bother me. And it was just like, even people around me were like, what are you doing this week? What are you starting on? What are you doing? Like, you got something going? You're going to start on, what are you starting on the first? What are you getting to? Please calm down. But I used to be that person. I used to be that person like, what you doing? If I'm honest, during that first week, like watching everybody around me, like literally stick their foot out the door and like run full speed was like, it was a little bit, I don't know if the word is daunting, but it was a little bit scary because it was like, oh my gosh, look, everybody's taking off running and look at you resting. First of all, when I tell y'all I did not rest at all last year, my 2024 started in October of 2023. And so I did not rest a lick last year until Christmas break. And I literally was like breaking down because of it. Like I literally started to see differences in my body. Like I started to get like little craters under my eyes. Oh gosh. I mean, I know I'm getting older, but guys, speaking of getting older, just a little cliff note. I turned 30 last year. Can you believe it? 30? I turned 30. And honestly, 30, they say 30 is where it's at. 30s, I don't know if it's where it's at yet. I just got here. All my stuff is still in the boxes. So I don't know. I haven't, decorated the place yet. But like the changes are very noticeable. I already was the kind of person I didn't care. Like I didn't care about a lot. Now, if you tried to pay me to care, I say, keep the money. I don't want it. Literally, it's like if it's going to, it's not even fight my peace. Like if it's going to nudge, if it's going to poke, if it's going to tickle my peace, I want nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. Also, it's just this mindset that just clicks. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like everything just, I don't want to say everything makes sense because there are days where I still wake up and I'm like, what am I doing? Oh my God. What is life? I don't have it figured it out. What? But it's just this knowing, I guess like a knowing of who you are, a solidifying in your identity. And it's pretty great. So all you girls who are in your late 20s going through it, because everybody knows age like 26 to 28, even 29. God bless you. You will see 30 and you will be better. I'm glad I ain't you no more. Other changes, everything is loud. Please, by all means, turn it down. Turn it down, please. And your body, like if you're not intentional about taking care of that thing, I am not kidding y'all. I was working out, doing good for months, like working real hard. I ate a cookie and gained 15 pounds. Like what? What? Where's my metabolism? Pain, aches. I sneezed and my shoulder popped and it felt like somebody stabbed me with a sword right here. So yeah, that's enough of that. I turned 30. Wonderful, crazy, major changes. Who knew? All right. So moving on. What was I even talking about? Oh, yeah. So I felt some type of way, seeing everybody do stuff, even though I said I'm going to take this time to rest. Like I'm taking my power back. I don't have to start doing stuff as soon as January 1st hits. Cause that's how I usually am. And I usually am that way because it's like, if I don't start the year off right, then the whole year is trash. Like I have to start on January 1st or else it won't be perfect. The year won't be perfect. And we know that that's not true because how many things have I started on January 1st that didn't see April? And I beat myself up for it. But the truth is, it's probably because there was this standard that I created of like perfection. And the truth is like, I really had an issue with perfectionism. And I won't say that I'm free. She ain't my neighbor. She lived down the street and around the corner though. So I see her when she go for runs. And I have to say something to her, but I literally used to struggle with perfectionism so bad. And I had to come to grips with the reality that perfectionism is rooted in fear. It's rooted in, you know, not wanting to be rejected. It's rooted in not wanting to be misunderstood. Which those things are gonna happen anyway. Newsflash, we ain't around. This just in. But yeah, and so I really had to come to the understanding that I wasn't doing this because I'm a girl boss. I wasn't acting this way because I'm about my business. I wasn't acting this way because I just like things done a certain way. No, this is anxiety. Hello? This is just another manifestation of being, what's the word? Feeling inadequate. And I think we look up to people who do things, in a certain manner. But it's like sometimes you look at somebody, you be like, dang, they got their stuff together, like they doing good. And then there's other times you look at people and it's like they doing it, but something about this feels weird. Like I don't know if y'all if y'all ever see people like that. It's like something about like if there is a chink in the plans in the like they're gonna lose their mind. And it's so crazy because we praise being able to do this and being able to do that and being able to you know do it all. But a lot of times that stuff is rooted in perfectionism. So I had to go on the journey of trying to overcome that, still on the journey of trying to overcome that. And I think the first thing that I had to learn, had to understand, is what's the difference between excellence and perfectionism, right? And there's nothing wrong with doing things in excellence. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a master at your craft. There's nothing wrong at wanting to constantly improve. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be good, do good, look good. But the problem with perfectionism is it doesn't exist. The target is literally always moving. And so y'all ever see that thing where they put the carrot in front of the horse and the horse just be running, and the horse never get the carrot. And I said, give that carrot to that horse. But the horse not going to get the carrot because the carrot's on a string and the horse can't get the carrot. That is perfectionism. It's not achievable. It's constantly moving. You're constantly running after it because it doesn't exist. It's not real. And so I had to choose and say, well, do I want to be a hamster on a wheel, doing all this production with no progress? Or do I actually want to be somebody who, does stuff with substance? And I literally had to make that decision. Because like I said, the truth is just because there's movement, just because there's busyness, just because there is production doesn't mean you're being productive. Doesn't mean you're progressing. And that's the thing about perfection is you're constantly improving on something, and then you never actually do it. So let's just take me, for instance. This last year, I launched a program within my business called Sit and Savvy. It's a community for creatives. You should totes look into it. But it took me 2 years to launch it. And now that I'm on the other side of launching it, it's like, what the hell? Excuse me. It's like, it's like my bad. I didn't mean to. Some people consider that a cuss word. I didn't mean to cuss. I was just like, what was I afraid of again? What was I was constantly picking at and trying to improve and and I was just like, oh, I can release it, you know, I can open it up during this time, and then we get closer to that time. I'm like, nope, not ready. Got it. And then it got to a point where literally the Holy Spirit grabbed me by my collar like this and said, you have to release it. And I said, if you release me, I will release it. So I did, but if I would have kept at that state, I probably still wouldn't have opened it up. There would be no sentence savvy. And so I literally had to make the choice to say, okay, what you did, what you've done is good. What you've done so far is good. And with perfectionism, the thing about perfectionism is you have to be okay with learning as you go. You have to be okay with, of course, you guys know I always talk about discovery. Like, you have to be okay with letting things go and being able to grow with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so, just speaking of, me launching things within my business, one of the things that I really struggled with last year was the appearance of success. In that, I feel like that's what revealed my real issue with perfectionism, is that I would be doing stuff or I would be working, I'll be trying to get things done, or like when it comes to sharing what it is that I do, if it didn't look a certain way, I wasn't sharing it. If it, didn't appear a certain way, I wasn't sharing it. And the unfortunate part is that society equates productivity with what things look like. It equates, things that are good or things that are beneficial with simply what they look like. Which is crazy because, Christmas just passed and somebody could have gave me a giant box covered in beautiful gift wrap, beautiful bows, beautiful gowns. And I could have opened it up and it could have been absolute trash in there. But if I would have took a picture of the box and posted it on social media, they would have said I had a great Christmas. I'll never forget this story that I heard this lady tell. I don't remember who the lady was. I don't remember where I heard it. So it was an interview somewhere. But she was talking about how, I guess, like I think she was like a content creator or something like that. And so she went out to, I think, Los Angeles, and was talking to somebody that was another content creator that you know how you like talk to fellow creators or whatever on social media, people who are like in your same scope. And so she was talking to them and they were like, let's meet for lunch, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So then she gets there and the lady was like, I don't have a car, my car's in the shop, can you come get me? So she went to go get the lady. They went to the restaurant. Then the lady was like, oh, I left my wallet at home or something like that. Anyways, after questioning the lady, turns out this beautiful life that she has on social media, all these things that she does, whatever, blah, blah, it's not even real. That's how crazy this is. And so once again, perfectionism being this moving target, a lot of us are trying to live up to this standard that we see on social media, or this idea of who it is that we think we're supposed to be. And a lot of it is just a lie. It's not even true. You want to live a lie? Oh my gosh. Like, it's not even true. And it's not to say that stuff like that isn't attainable. It's just to say that a lot of people who you think that have attained these things have actually not. And so when that happens, you negate, you know, the process, or you negate, no, you negate the process. And so the issue becomes, instead of operating in perfectionism and wanting to be perfect, you need to find the perfection in the process. Like, the process is perfect because God is sending you through it. If that makes any sense. Like, that process is perfect for you. It is refining you. It is shaping you and molding you into the person that you're supposed to be. It is, sending you on the path that is yours. And so when you are constantly striving for perfectionism, you are robbing yourself of what it is that you're actually supposed to be, like what it is that you're actually supposed to do. That's like, even for me, a lot of things that I post like on my social media and stuff is usually stuff that's encouraging, or stuff that, and there have been so many times where somebody has messaged me and been like, you don't know how much I need to hear that. Or, I've literally seen people, it's in my business. I'm a creative consultant and coach. Like, I've literally seen businesses, programs, productions flourish just because of, speaking words and stuff like that. But if I was so caught up in looking a certain way, because one thing about me, I don't mind saying stuff, but it's just like, if I don't have to, if we could put zippers over our lips, I would zip mine, and then it would be a special lock on it. I'll probably unlock it 2 times a day. Say, I'm hungry. That's it, And also, I feel like sometimes, y'all know me sitting on the podcast now. I'm goofy. And so sometimes I feel like I might say something I ain't got no business saying. I might do something I ain't got no business doing. And then that will mess up whatever perception I want for you to have. Because, guys, ever since I was little, I wanted to be this quiet, demure, how do you say, soft-spoken lady. Mysterious. And I'm just not her. I'm not her. So when I don't be speaking, it's like, I'm her, And it's like, actually, you're not. So, yeah, there are times where I'm striving for perfectionism, or striving for a certain look, or a certain whatever, a certain perception. And then I've missed out on the opportunity to encourage somebody or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's just a small example of life in its entirety, So it's just like, when you strive for perfection, or when you try to eliminate obstacles, or eliminate, it's not even obstacles, it's things that you think, like, the stuff don't even really be there. You just be making up stuff. Like, people talking about their haters and stuff like that. Y'all making this stuff up. It's not real. Who hates you? Nobody hates you. Nobody hates you. A lot of times, side note, you be rehearsing stuff in your head, and because if you look at yourself and say, no, me, that's not true, you be crazy. You got to put it on these imaginary people, and they not saying nothing about you. Nobody's talking about you, friend. I'm sorry. It's just like, a lot of people did be talking about haters. They're haters and got to prove them wrong. And it's just like, who cares? Who cares? Anyways. So yeah, you rob yourself of the opportunity to actually be something amazing. You're so busy trying to be perfect which you can't measure up to, that you actually end up robbing yourself of the opportunity to be something great. You're striving for perfection and missing greatness. Because you can be great. You can achieve greatness. You can't achieve perfection. Jesus already did it. Don't waste your time. Thank you, Lord. So even with it being a new year, like, I challenge you not to be so caught up in doing it right. Because first of all, as long as you wake up every single day, you doing it. Man, I remember there was a time in my life I was so sad. And I would open my eyes in the morning and I would say, I'm still here. I got to keep going. Yeah. So you're already doing it. You're already doing it. You can do it well. But as far as perfectionism, and this is another thing, I feel like perfectionism robs you of being able to actually experience life like fully. Like having all these stipulations and all these deadlines and no, I can't do this. No, I'm not talking about self-control. I'm not talking about discipline. I'm talking about being crazy. It puts such a constraint on you. It puts such a constraint on your life that all you can focus on is being this thing, accomplishing this thing, doing this thing, that the life is passing you by. You're sitting on your couch and life is passing you by. Literally, you rob yourself of being able to be present. And that's why I said earlier that perfectionism really is just another form of anxiety, because all anxiety is fear of the future. You make scenarios up and you just get afraid now. And that's why whenever I talk to like fellow creatives and my clients and stuff like that, like I always say you have to be careful, because you will make up a whole narrative that don't exist. A lot of y'all need to be film writers. Where y'all just be making up these scenarios that just don't exist. Y'all need to put this in some plots, in some scenes, because it's stressing you out. And you are losing out because of it, you know? And so when your focus is only solely on achieving and doing and getting. When's the last time you said, oh, look at that bird singing? Literally, y'all, there was one time a bird was outside my window. And I mean, he was singing loud. And I woke up and I was irritated because I was like, you couldn't have chose another tree. But I quickly started to cry. That's another thing. 30? Let me tell you something. I have my whole life. When I was born, I did not cry. I'm not joking. Ask my family. They pulled me out. They said two things. I did not cry. And they said I was too busy staring at the lights. Okay. So, a thug and distracted. That's me. But I heard the bird and I realized that, you know, I used to like go outside, take time, sit down 15 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes hours, and just breathe, listen to birds sing, stuff like that. I realized that I had not paid attention to a bird singing in so long. And I wept. I cried. Like, when's the last time that you just paid attention to the things around you? You know, the things that God created for you to enjoy. Like, literally, y'all, we were created to be naked and eat fruit. And so it's just like all this extra, like, I get it. We do have to work. We do have to do stuff, you know? But it's just like all this extra, think about it. We were created, we were naked and eating fruit. Chilling with lions. Now look at us. Creating things that don't even exist. And I also feel like perfectionism robs you of Man, being able to just be human, being able to be authentic, being able to just be yourself. Like, why is it that every single new year, new me? How many people are you? Hmm? You're a new person every single year? That's crazy. Like, at some point, we have to consider, are we sick? Are we ill? Why are we so many people? We shouldn't be. Why can't we just be one person who is, constantly growing, evergreen, learning, evolving? Why do we have to be somebody new every single year? And perfectionism robs you of having the ability to be able to grow freely. Because even me right now, there are certain things that I need to implement into my life. And I was planning 2 weeks ago, because one thing about me, I did say I was gonna rest, but I have to have a schedule, I have to have a plan. So, I wouldn't be caught crazy. I said don't be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. I didn't say don't do anything. So I was making my plans, for the month of January. And I was like, all right, wake up 4 a.m., go to the gym, do this, do that. You're going to eat, and you're not going to eat any meat. You're going to eat rocks. After you eat the rocks, do jumping jacks. So those rocks will shake up what's inside your stomach. That's going to be your detox. It's going to get everything out. After you do that, you're going to read 3 books that are at least 20 chapters in 1 hour. It's like, girl, what? You're not finna do that. You're not finna do that. And there have been times in my life where I literally did strive for that. Now some people do have to do this. Me, I learned it don't work for me. Join Alexa, don't work for her. But I had like this schedule, and there was an alarm every single hour. First of all, I don't like alarms. I think they're cruel and unusual punishment. Like, you be in sleep, you're resting, and all of a sudden, that's so rude. Okay. But I had an alarm every single hour saying, get up, go eat, go do this, go do that. Can we just make a checklist for the day? It's okay to start somewhere, but creating this inhuman standard for a human is not fair to yourself. It's not fair. Once again, I'm not promoting laziness. I'm not promoting not taking care of your business, but at the same time, calm down. You've got to calm down. You have to calm down. So even with that being said, like, technically, you could have New Year 12 times a year. You need to. You can start fresh every month if you need to. You can implement something different every month if you need to. Shoot, y'all seen that video where that man was like, day 1 without chicken wings, day 2 without chicken wings, day 1 without chicken wings, day 1 without chicken wings. Because he set a goal for him not to eat chicken wings every day, but he kept messing up the goal. But what didn't change was his positivity in his pursuit. He will eventually, hopefully, maybe get to a place where he's not eating chicken wings every single day, but he had to have a new year every single day. He had to say Happy New Year every single day for chicken wings. And you can do the exact same thing. Like, just because it's the beginning of the year, just because it's, this is perfect time to, you don't, guys, you don't. You don't. And so I think what I want for people to get out of all of this is free your mind, and the rest will follow. Like, life is already hard enough for you to be so hard on yourself. Hold on a second. Just give me 1 second. That was for me. Life is already hard enough for you to be so hard on yourself. It's okay to have standards. It's okay to strive for excellence, like I said earlier, but perfection does not exist. It is not acquirable. So this year, this year for me is about operating in authenticity. This year for me is about purpose. This year for me is about learning. This year for me is about growth. And also not deciding that those things should look a certain way for me to be able to achieve them. Because a lot of times people say, yeah, I need healing. I need healing. And then before you go on your journey of receiving that healing, you decide what you receiving that healing looks like. Then it's 2 years later and you crying over Robert again. Why? Because you didn't actually get healed. I don't know who Robert is. I'm sorry. Your name is Robert. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying. You're crying again, or something comes up and it's like, I thought I dealt with this. No, you actually did not deal with it because you were playing. You're playing a character. You're playing a healed character. You say, you know what, I need to grow in this area. And you decide what growth is supposed to look like. And then you operate in that instead of actually growing. You did not grow. You are playing a character. You are playing the role of what you think growth looks like. You did not actually grow, friend. You didn't. Even with learning, like once you understand something new about yourself and it's like, you know what, I can't do that no more. I know that this triggers me, or I know this. You start to operate in what it is that you think it looks like to have learned from that thing instead of actually learning. Because if you learn, you would change some things. Just saying. So I honestly don't know how long I've been talking, but I won't hold you up since we're just getting back together. I love you guys so much. We are officially going to weekly podcasts. So, like I said earlier, I did dip out at a time where things were starting to, they weren't jumping, but they leaped a little bit. And I just want to be more diligent with you guys and what it is that, I say I'm here for. So we're going to weekly podcasts. So y'all hold me to it. Okay. Hold me to it. I love y'all. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at _Jordan Alexa on Instagram. And that's it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now because it's also late at night. So with that being said, I love you guys. You're the best. I'll see you soon. Next week to be exact. Oh, we're going up, man. We're not only bi-weekly, but we are now officially weekly. How exciting is that? All right. I love y'all. In Jesus' name, amen. This is actually with Jordan Alexa. Peace.